of the Lord, which by night stand in the house of the Lord, in the house of the Lord. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary. Bless the Lord. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary. And bless the Lord. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary and bless the Lord. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary and bless the Lord. Bless ye the Lord, all ye servants of the Lord, which by night stand in the house of the Lord, in the house of the Lord. The Lord that made heaven and earth, bless thee out of Zion. The Lord that made heaven and earth, bless thee out of Zion. The Lord that made heaven and earth, bless thee out of Zion. The Lord that made heaven and earth, bless thee out of Zion.
So Don, what did you?
It's Chuckles.
What is your most memorable memory of Dayspring besides your house burning down that one time?
Gosh, that's the light of fire. Gosh, everybody on the road. Evan with his hearse.
Oh my.
With Grace and Gross.
Yeah.
Grace is still here, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was asking Dave where that was.
Yeah, Dave, we're still holding on to Grace here. Keep it at home. Just everybody being together is my best memory. Great learning, great session, great everybody together. It's almost like being in the seminary in a way for 4 years, you know?
Yeah. In what way would you say it was like being in the seminary?
Well, just the training. It was pretty intense, really intense training of 4 years of. We were all together, almost every night.
Yeah.
For almost 4 years, which is it's like Bible school.
It was a Bible school. Yeah, almost.
Very intense, you know,
Right.
which was good. And these guys, I hope, will be good too, especially since I'm basting them with, little hops.
Oh, really?
Just a teeny bit, just
Well, if the Lord will give such light and life to a gentle flower, how much more won't He give you? So come, taste the beauty of the Lord. Taste the joy which only He can give. Come and drink the wine of happiness and eat the bread of life. Come, taste the beauty of the Lord. Look at the sparrows in the air, how they fly about from tree to tree. Well, if the Lord will give such liberty to a lonely sparrow, how much more won't He give you? So come, taste the beauty of the Lord. Taste the joy which only He can give. Come and drink the wine of happiness and eat the bread of life. Come, taste the beauty of the Lord. Look at the freshness of the rain, renewing all which feels its gentle touch. Well, if the Lord will give such goodness to the fleeting rain.
So precious.
Yeah, they are. We got
They
to
have
find
like
out what's
5
going on
kids.
with them. Yeah.
Okay, now you have to tell me your name, Dr. Paul Ritter.
Paul Ritter, St. Louis, Missouri. One wife, three kids, three in-laws in love. Children in love, and 8 grandkids, 7 granddaughters, and 1 grandson.
What do you remember most about
It really
Dayspring?
is awesome. You know, the funniest thing I remember is people would go in and everybody would be sitting on the floor and nobody would talk to anybody. And I thought everybody was really being super spiritual or weird, one or the other. And then all of a sudden when Rick started playing the guitar, the music was heavenly. It was awesome. And then David would teach, and it was wonderful, but I never got over the fact that I thought everybody was weird.
They were.
Well, I mean, not weird, but
They were, yeah.
Well, they were weird too, but that's okay. We
but
forgive
I
them.
was
Peculiar. We're peculiar people.
Okay, Jim Armstrong, introduce yourself and your lovely wife of I don't know how many years. Your bride.
This is my bride of
58 years.
Wait a minute, you have to say who you are.
Jim Armstrong and Virginia Armstrong. And we've been married 58 years. And at 50, she decided she was going to keep me. And we used to go to some of the meetings years ago. And
Don Wiggins' house.
Don Wiggins'
They all were,
house.
I guess.
And down by Washington University. As our daughter was a member of Dayspring Group, and so we just went around to see what it was about.
And you were at the time you were a priest at,
Episcopal priest.
Yeah, I was
At,
Episcopal priest at that time.
and the name of the church was.
Church of Our Savior.
Well,
Oh,
no.
the last one you served was St. Luke's
St. Luke's Episcopal
on
Church.
Sulphur Springs Road in
Baldwin.
Right, and you all still live in the same house.
Same
Yes,
house.
same
yeah.
house.
Wow. Okay, Virginia, what do you remember most about Dayspring?
I remember most that there was such a close-knit fellowship and a love and a caring, and something that we only witnessed really at Graham Falkingham's church down in Houston, Texas, where the body was really in unity and harmony, loving, serving one another.
They were living in community, too.
Living in community, and that's kind of the idea, I think, with Dayspring. You took trips, you took a nice vacation to Colorado, and I think that many, many lives were transformed, totally changed as a result of their ministry.
Amen.
And so we just, and David's puns. And then, of course, we had house meetings where we rotated, Yarborough's, Haglin's, and us, and Hatchers.
Hatches.
And we prayed, we had dinner, had fellowship, and we prayed fervently for our children.
Primarily, yes. Every week we met
Every
at somebody
week
else's
we met at
house.
somebody else's house.
One thing have I desired of the Lord, and that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. And one thing have I desired of the Lord, and that will I seek after, to behold the beauty of the Lord, to inquire in His temple.
And there's Tanis. Hey, Chuck. Who was your favorite person in Dayspring? Honey, get your checkbook out and write that check out to your friend.
Let's see. Dave and Ruth? Is that like been said overly?
No, you have to say me. Don't you
I'm
want me
supposed to
tease
say
me?
Chuck? Little Chuck. Little teenage Chuckles.
What do you remember most about Dayspring?
What do I remember most? Praise and worship at Roseberry.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
How would you describe it with more than just the word wonderful?
Well, really good musically. Really neat original music that was composed by God and the composers. And really beautifully harmonized and really anointed. Did that describe it enough?
How would you describe the life? I would describe the life in Dayspring, in the community.
I'm so glad you asked. I think that Dayspring was the epitome of the New Testament church. Living in common, people helping one another that were in need, coming to people's rescue when they needed it, prayer for things that were needed, money for things that were needed, help for things that were needed, and just a real supportive, bonded group. You don't have to have constant visitation, but you just get back in the groove as soon as you see people, because there's a huge bond of love. Do you agree with me, Chuck?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're smiling, so I think you're probably agreeing with what I'm saying.
Look who I have here. I captured Ruth in all of her glory. Your most memorable memory. What do you remember about Dayspring?
Oh, I was so happy it was over.
Before that,
It was just all very good.
what do you remember about me?
But you were just a kid growing up like all the other kids I've since known.
Not every other kid came in. John?
How are you?
I didn't know you guys were coming. John David?
We didn't know you were coming.
I thought so. Hi.
Dawn's here. She'll be glad to see you.
Oh yeah. Good to see you.
I didn't expect you.
Well, I think you're going to be less shy than your mom and dad. What do you remember the most about Dayspring? And did you know, John, you were the first person I met in Dayspring?
Was it really?
Yeah.
Man, and you stayed anyway.
And you came to the door. What do you remember most about Dayspring?
What do I remember? The fellowship and the Bible studies.
Okay, yeah.
And at my age back then, they were seemingly very long Bible studies, and I think my dad was teaching most of them.
Well, you learned a lot, didn't you?
Oh, it was wonderful. Good foundation for the rest of the life. But it's good to be here. I can't believe we're all getting older.
That's good. How many kids you got now?
3.
3 kids.
Sue says we're done, but I'm praying for more.
Right.
And this one here was done for Bush Wildlife out of Kansas City, out of Independence. There's Ducks Unlimited that has
We're going to start meeting, our church is going to start meeting at Presswood.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of young kids and that really got powerfully saved.
Oh, most beautiful woman in the world. Cora, what do you remember about being a kid in Dayspring?
Nothing.
You don't remember all the people in your house?
No, not really. I remember stories, but I don't remember actually for myself.
I can tell you. Nice person.
Sorry.
I got those cute. Now that I got you, Evan. Look, man, Evan's short.
There you go.
What do you remember most about Dayspring? Your experience there?
I remember being with my friends and worshiping and sharing and traveling and singing and lots of memories.
What was the most unique thing about Dayspring that you remember?
Most unique for me, just the support and the friendship that I had with the people.
Most memorable event?
Memorable event.
I don't know. Was it like when your hearse broke down or no? Tell us about the hearse. What did you used to? What was your mode of transportation back in the 70s?
Well, I bought a 1957 hearse, and initially I was performing with a guy named Emmett Taylor, and we used to travel around with it. And then we had a coffee house with Grace and Peace, and then I started going to Dayspring, and so that was my my mode of
Scares
transportation.
the neighbors when you
for a while.
drive.
Drove it and put it in the backyard of the Greers for a long time, and finally sold it.
Yeah. That was good.
Anyway, it was a fun car.
Tell me your name.
Gordon Robertson. And what I remember most about Dayspring is how well I was received by all the people at the group, and that's where I got saved back in '74. So that was a very special group for me. Still is.
And what do you remember about Dave and Ruth?
Dave and Ruth are the most calm, easygoing, stable people that I know, I think. I might know some people that are running up close to them, but not very many.
What's the most? What do you remember most about Dayspring?
Well, the music had a style and a class of its own. It was very interesting, timeless. What else? It was just a family.
Right.
It was a small church but it was a family. And I don't know how many people were there, maybe 30, 40, something like that. And everybody was just so full of love and joy and happiness. And that's what I needed at the time. And it really impacted my life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh and Jordan, whatever.
And your mom,
Dawn?
Dawn, and she was part of
I don't know.
Dayspring Community. Okay, son.
Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. Oh, continue thy loving kindness to them, unto them that know thee. Oh, continue thy loving kindness to them, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings.
Who are you talking about?
The same old Chuck Schmidt I always knew.
Oh man, I hope God's done something to me since then.
What? A light sensor?
So,
is this a candid interview here?
well, it is now. You know, Georgine was running. What are you running for? You're like my wife. She runs whenever I get the camera on. I was actually filming you, and you saw that I did, and you just started going moving out of the way. So, what do you guys come back together here? What do you both remember most about your experience in Dayspring?
Oh, I remember when you were doing doing some kung fu or something and kicked yourself in the nose.
Yeah.
And broke your nose.
That was really...
Now, how many people have told you that?
I remember it.
You don't
I did. I was actually... No, I do remember it. I was looking down at Joel, saying, Joel, look at this. And I went, wow, and I kicked myself in the nose. So embarrassing to have to go to the hospital and tell them, I kicked myself. What happened to you? I kicked myself in the nose.
Well, when you do things like that, you start trying to kick yourself someplace else.
Right.
But I think it's the same reason we're here, all the neat friends we've made, and that they're still friends, and we're back to see them.
What would you say would be the most memorable thing you remember about Dayspring? How would you characterize Dayspring?
The incubator for a lot of babies who spiritual babies who the Lord used Dayspring to bring to maturity and send out into the world.
To launch us off. And Dave and Ruth as kind of our spiritual parents who pushed us out of the nest.
Taught us well, and it's affected our lives ever since.
How would you say that it's impacted your ministry as a pastor? Or why don't you tell the camera? What do you do, Bill?
Yeah.
You're supposed to say what my name is Bill. This is my wonderful bride.
Hi, my name is Bill, and I'm a sweetaholic.
No, I think it's Bill S.
Bill S. There you go.
Yeah.
No, it has constantly and is still shaping my ministry, because what I experienced in Dayspring gave me an experience of the community that the church needs to be, and I've always tried to minister in that way and to call people to share that. I'm still working at getting that down right.
And giving people a spiritual depth beyond going to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The spiritual depth, I think, is what we took from Dayspring into.
If you abide in me, and the words abide in you, ye shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. If ye abide in me, and the words abide in you, ye shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I kept my father's, and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. If you abide in me, and the words abide in you, ye shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. If you abide in me, and the words abide in you, ye shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. I stretch forth my hands unto thee, my soul thirsteth after thee, as a thirsty land. I stretch forth my hands unto thee, my soul thirsteth after thee, as a thirsty land. Hear me speedily, O Lord, my spirit faileth, hide not thy face from me, lest I be like unto them that go down into the...
Are you aware that your presence is very in the big room?
Charlene, what do you remember most about Dayspring?
About Dayspring? Oh, I loved the music. Was always good. Worship was always good.
And?
And
meeting new people like Polly.
right.
There's always new people.
Always new people. We just have so many good memories. Lots of grounding.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Very well
Yeah,
rooted.
lots of grounding in the Word. And you, Chuck.
What do you remember about me?
What do I remember about
Be
you?
nice.
You're
No.
on fire for the Lord.
Yes.
I remember that from last time you were on fire.
Riding your bicycle to the meeting.
My soul thirsteth after thee, as a thirsty land. Thou art my God, and thy spirit is good. Teach me to do thy will. Thou art my God, and thy spirit is good. Lead me into the land of uprightness. I stretch forth my hands unto thee. My soul thirsteth after thee, as a thirsty land. I stretch forth my hands unto thee. My soul thirsteth after thee, as a thirsty land.
I was so glad to see. What was his name? Ruth's Cup. You want to hold it?
For as the rain and snow come down from heaven and do not go back, but water the earth, water the earth, and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower. So shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not come back to me.
How long does this take?
So we can hear.
It's working, right? Feel like it's one of those.
Hey, that's natural.
That's great. Ruth, you're going to have to drive down to Texas.
Oh, we're gonna have the little dreadful driver.
I just speak for myself, and I know probably from all of us that in my lifetime I've never forgotten my experiences with Dayspring. And even though I was always the quiet one trying to play guitar and act like I was singing since Evan was so loud that I didn't have to sing.
Amen.
But I'll never forget how much these two people have affected my life.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do something tonight from all of us, okay? That something I've been doing in the last few years to raise a lot of money to help nonprofits, which half the time I think my business is nonprofit.
That's because you haven't learned to bid yet.
Oh, I tried that. It was worse. But the life casting is a technique that's been done for centuries. And what I'm going to do tonight, which is no pain at all. You know, there's no blood involved. I swear.
Well, not a lot of blood.
We're going to use dental rubber, which looks like Jell-O. Okay, it looks like blue goo, and it's not too bad. We're going to dip your hands in blue goo for about 6 minutes, and then I'm going to pour a plaster, and in 1 hour we're going to open up the plaster.
Wow. Cool.
Okay, so we all get to cut it open and see what's there. These are a couple life casts I just did for donors to the Cancer Foundation at Missouri Baptist Hospital. This is the chief surgeon of heart surgery at Missouri Baptist Hospital, Dr. Murphy, holding an aortic clamp, in case you guys want to know what that is.
Oh, watch how you're placing that.
Politically correct. This is a live cast I just did of a couple who, this is Joyce and Carol Pillsbury. This is a really wonderful, this was the chairman of the board, he and his father from the Baptist Hospital for 85 years. And I did a sculpture of them. And I was trying to get a cast of them together, and Mrs. Pillsbury just passed away 2 days ago. I just did this 10 days ago. And she was in her hospital bed, and that family was wanting to do this for years. But this is Joyce caressing Carol. So we just, this is for the family, and it's plaster and it's very accurate. So guys, we're gonna dip you. The big trick is,
What about their faces, though? Can't we?
Yeah, can we do their faces?
Yeah, put their faces.
6 minutes?
6 minutes is not room.
We're thinking about doing a face. Look at it. Yeah, I got to time on here. I got to time 12 seconds, 15 seconds. There's going to be bubbles in this glue.
touch the bottom. When you feel the bottom,
this is really good.
Hey, this is a new experience.
All right.
Coach, you don't.
I'll be right back.
Isn't that wonderful?
Where's
to see it?
Bill, my assistant. Oh,
Does he say pastor or caster?
Caster?
He's a caster.
A little faster, Pastor Caster.
Pastor Caster.
Or there's going to be a disaster.
I just didn't know Chuck Schmidt knew how to do that. It was like that for the younger.
Oh, I know, but you know, he grew up with bad puns.
What?
Positive seeds
What?
of silly humor.
Nah, Chuck.
Bad humor.
They're all crowded here. Come on in and see this.
Funny to me is when I get together with my brothers. My two brothers and I have exactly the same horrible sense of humor. And when we're together, we break each other up. And everyone else in the room is kind of sitting there like, was that funny? What was the funny part? Let me know when you get to the punchline. And we're just rolling on the floor because we know we're clever. Makes no difference.
Humor at a different level.
Yes. Yep. I like to think it's higher, but we've been told that it's lower. Yeah, you didn't say which one. My one brother has always said that I bring the class to John. It may be low class, but it's
What are you saying?
Why don't you see here?
and I won't tell you what I say.
I'm very sweet.
Now we're talking, Dave.
I need to see Dawn do something.
It's really good.
Okay, what? Dayspring. What is? What was Dayspring to you?
Oh, that's really easy. Dayspring saved my life, saved my marriage. If it hadn't been for Evan Dodd pestering us at Forest Park Community College on the switchboard and getting my husband to come to one of those crazy meetings at Dave and Ruth's house, we probably would not be married and have all the children that we have today, because I was about ready to leave him and things were not going well for the Galloway family. But Dayspring taught me what it means to have a mother and father that cared about us, and that's what Dave and Ruth were. We're spiritual mom and dads that just put in countless hours and just helped us through that time in our life. Dayspring taught us community. We never knew what it was like to have people living in our home, and this will be kind of funny, but you remember Skelly. Yes, thank you, Dave and Ruth, for entrusting Skelly to us. And we just want to let you know that we're second generation doing things that you sowed into our life. And we just want to say we wouldn't be what we are today, and we sit here and want to just honor you And we've said this to your face before at our house, but truly, we love you, and you are the ones that walked before us. And we honor you by staying faithful and raising up those that we're now the little spiritual moms and dads to, and it's because of what you sowed into us. Thank you.
That was good.
It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy love and kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night.
Very deep. Oh Lord, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy love and kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night. O Lord, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. O Lord, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep.
Last weekend was, I just see it as a special gift to me, because what happened in what we call Dayspring was many years ago. And there was a sense in which I left that work in defeat. So last weekend he brought together people who were able to affirm to me, yes, Jesus really did something very remarkable.
Sunshine upon the fields is hot, and yet the wheat grows upward toward the sun, which light and life reveals the roots growing deeper, and the soil is watered, is planted together as one, grain-bearing fruit in the sun. Lift your voice in praises, stand up and clap your hands. God has come to live in man, sons of God are we. Light has broken forth upon us, spring has come, and now the Son of